Oh, yes, you can see the recent movement. I think that pressure started from Russia, Vladimir Putin mounting a kind of Russia when the Alexander Stubb was trying to impose, a nuclear deal, and with Russia, or trying to deny or trying to support Ukraine, and the road the world has given Finland as a nation that has one of the best ranking human rights nation in the world was what the factor Vladimir Putin used to shut down Alexander Stubb recently, citing the the appearance or disappearance, or non-public appearance of the Biafra separatists, who is also a Finnish citizen, talking about Simon Ekpa. The development a few days ago, was quite interesting, where the president Vladimir Putin of Russia made that kind of gesture to the world and United Nations. Of course, the EU, signaling that the Alexander Stubb can be put on the scale now. That Finland can actually put on the scale because of the threat against Simon Ekpa. And remember, for some time now, the Vladimir Putin government or Russia government has been enjoying some certain support of liberation for freedom fighters. Asking the United Nations, asking the foreign Russian foreign minister, to factor Biafra liberation in some of the meetings they are doing over the BRICS issue and all that, considering the fact that Biafra as a nation is also the part of the Sahel nation. So the liberalization, not to allow Russia to factor in deeply in Africa. The Russian government, the US government, and the Israeli government are mapping out a strategy to make sure that those who are going to stand as a force, in representing Sahel in some of the international policies that are going to take place any moment from now, especially the issue of the maritime, which is being seen as the next world major source of resources. Anytime that is even more, deep in terms of generating income more than the oil. I'm talking about the sea, the maritime sector, and of which they have already singled Biafra as a major nation in terms of human resources, in terms of strength, in terms of innovation, in terms of capacity, in terms of anything, So they are looking at that direction, and you can see that the international policy in Europe and Africa and Canada and some of them where Nigeria has been banned completely from entry are beginning to question the reason why Simon Ekpa, a Biafran separatist in England, should be banned from public appearance. A lot of people are saying that the Finnish government actually arrested him, and a lot of stories have been tabled from that direction. But I can tell you now that a few days ago a drama played out in the Finnish court, which unbelievably the Finnish government came out openly and declared that Simon Ekpa Nigeria evidence against him was as a result of resistance of the Igbo killing that made Nigerian government to forge that petition. That most of the things that the Nigerian government wrote in that petition has been found to be linked to Simon Ekpa's resistance over the killing of Christians in the eastern part of the country, allowing Fulanis, and doing all sorts of oppression and suppression by the Nigerian soldiers and Nigerian government. So, having seen that the government of Finland felt disappointed after this investigation and felt that they have actually shot themselves on the leg. That if they have known, if they have had such information, if their legislators have done this investigation properly, there wouldn't have been any need even to entertain the Nigerian petition to the extent of trying to see how they are going to muzzle opposition in that regard. Simon Ekpa has not been found to be linked to any ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, whatever. There was nothing like that. It was not linked to anything. So what we are seeing now is a clear intervention of most powerful nations around the world, and the Action Rock has been conducting emergency meeting on the next direction to do, what next to do now that the Finnish government has finally nailed them on the floor of their chambers there in Finland. What are they going to do about it? That tells you that it's a major breakthrough for Simon Ekpa. And of course, like they put it, Simon Ekpa might any moment from now make his dramatic appearance publicly, because the news has filtered in, and that Dr. Ngozi Rabweze is currently working assiduously to make sure that that bridge is being transformed to reality, where the signal has already gotten to Abuja currently now. With the crisis that is happening in Abuja currently now, with the situation in Abuja currently now, I can tell you categorically clear that Abuja is politically and bilaterally confused over the development that has happened outside the world as a result of Russia, American and Israeli pressure on Finland to get Simon Ekpa to a freedom point of breakthrough.
There is this trending news across the nations of the world. The foreign nations are surprised. Who is the terrorist between Fulani S-men or Simon Ekpa? We've seen the International Terrorism Agency. They've ranked Fulani S-men the fourth most dangerous terrorist organization in the world, Fulani S-men. Now, Simon Ekpa's name is not there. And they are asking, why can't the Nigerian government take Fulani S-men more seriously than Simon Ekpa? Probably Nnamdi Kanu. What do you have to say about that, about Nigerian government?
It tells you the biasness of the North. It tells you the biasness of the system. It tells you the biasness of how biased the Nigerian government are on the issue that has to do with the secession of the Igbo people from Nigeria, which has long overdue. And I can tell you that the world is already had our voice. The world is already working on that. I can tell you, there's massive lobbying in the United Nations now. There's massive lobbying in the Congress. There's massive bilaterally. That everywhere in the world, you go to Russia, everywhere the IPOB members, are working. The Biafran government in exile is working. But surprisingly, in all this thing, victory of Biafra has been announced few days ago, that Simon Ekpa has recorded a major breakthrough after the Finnish government has already endorsed his public appearance any moment from now. And that public appearance, is going to signal to the world that the time has come and the time is now. So if you look at it very well, Simon Ekpa, who is a Biafran government in Israel, can be felt, can be seen, and IPOB members can be seen anywhere in the world. They are still all over the world. I can tell you currently now, if you are watching this platform, you are watching this video, you can see the reactivation of IPOB all over the world now, signaling that is a welcome development. The news we are getting from all over the world is meaning that Simon Ekpa is also behind. They are doing a lot of diplomatic jobs. That Simon Ekpa, Finland is a free world, but unknowingly to Nigerian government, they don't know how the young man Simon Ekpa has been able to carry out these activities from one place to another using all his network of connections, and the Biafran popularity is growing on daily basis. The world does not believe, the world does not compromise, the world does not see IPOB or Biafra or Simon Ekpa as a terrorist. But unfortunately, those who want conquest in Nigeria, those who want to oppress, continuous oppression, those who doesn't want to fix Nigeria, those who doesn't want Nigeria to work, those who have mounted pressure, those who have agreed that this is the type of Nigeria they want, the life of Simon Ekpa is their problem. They see such man as a hindrance to that agenda, including the IPOB leader who is already in detention for 5 years now. And I can tell you, these are the people who stood in respect to that. And kudos to the man from Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore.
I want to talk about the man. The man rejected 200. I mean, the man rejected the young man, a military president. Though, like I say in Nigeria, you are not calling for a military president in Nigeria. But let's an example. This man rejected 200 mosque offer from Saudi Arabia. Are you not thinking that can a Nigerian leader ever do this?
No, the man has already go out and signaled. I told you that he's working hand in hand with the Russian president Vladimir Putin, and he has made call for the immediate release. Finnish government should immediately, without any delay, release Simon Ekpa immediately, because he never committed any offense. He said Simon Ekpa is like me, Ibrahim Traore, who is fighting imperialism, who is fighting, monarchical, tyrannic and dictatorship, who is fighting to liberate his people, who is fighting colonization. I think that power and that instruction and that agitation from Sahel nations, which they have already put down Biafra as one of the most powerful Sahel nations to come as a result of BRICS, has already told that Finland government that Simon Ekpa must be removed. That's why I'm saying that a new twist to Simon Ekpa's public appearance any moment from now, as we continue to experience this major breakthrough for Simon Ekpa and of course of the African government in exile. What we are hearing from these nations and from world leaders around the world is a good news. And for those who are already in a meeting, from what we are gathering, that Alexander Stubb and his lawmakers and his congressmen or whatever team they have there, have already in the emergency meeting now to decide what they're going to do in the next few days from now, ahead of May, when the Finnish government felt that they have concluded whatever investigation they are doing in that regard, and that Simon Ekpa will hit the public space once again. That's development now, and from the fact that we are already in it and we are pushing towards a direction that is going to surprise everybody any moment from now, the way and manner Biafra nation will be allowed to exist by support of the international community has already put Nigeria on the side of divide. Like a lot of people are saying that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is likely going to be the last president of Nigeria. These are the things they are already finding out, pointing out, information that we are hearing, intelligence revelations that we are getting from different blogs around the world. Is signaling that there might not be 2027.
Finally, as we close, do you see a future for Nigeria as a united nation?
Nigeria is not a united nation because it's not a nation yet. The symbol of a nation that is united can only be found in Biafra, and that is it. Biafra is going to dwarf anything that has to do with Nigeria and save the pride of the black man, and that is why you see the likes of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Simon Ekpa, Ngozi Oruagbezi, and some other powerful Igbos around the world, who are working on the ground to make sure that the black man's history is preserved, the black man's ingenuity is preserved, the secret of black man is kept with the Biafrans. I can tell you that. Check it anywhere. It has become a spirit. Everybody is buying into it, and you can see the resilience coming from Simon Ekpa, coming from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and coming from the Igbo people too. How they have struggled over the years, even though they make sure that everything that belonged to the Igbo land was being fragmented. Yes, let me use that word. A shame on Asari Dokubo, or whatever he calls himself currently. Now I think he should cover himself in shame. The Igbo people, except those who are optimistic of what the Igbo stand in Nigeria today. But him now will continue to face disgrace until he realizes that the Igbos are not here to just crack jokes for cracking jokes, or to look at crude oil. They have not been able to touch any crude oil for the past 64 years of Nigerian existence. The Igbo man has not near anything that has to do with resources of crude oil coming from any. We have it in Abia. Why but I'm talking about the way they just project it. Imagine where it becomes their own and it becomes autonomous and they have Biafra on this umbrella. Go to your land. Do they have electricity? They don't have anything. But still, resources are being taken away from there. It's not going to be like that were to be rooted on the development, the sort development based on what is going on between Tinubu and the vice president who represent the northern bloc. The south part, the eastern part of the country is not interested in this their game for now until we see how the issue of massive Nnamdi Kano factor is going to play out at the end of the day. Until we see massive Nnamdi Kano released, that will determine the kind of thing that's going to happen. And remember, as it stands now, currently now, I can speak to you, the development in the Senate and in the House of Representatives and among the APC governors in the entire northern states have clearly moving towards the recent statement. That's the way you know there's a problem. Credited to Pat Tommy, where he said that some APC big names are already in the coalition. Well, it means that currently now Bola Ahmed Tinubu is likely going to shop for another vice president come 2027 because the way it is now, Shetima, whom the Southwest, the Yoruba, felt that he was becoming a big threat, has been silenced by Lagos boys in Aso Rock currently now. Is that the development is going to push Aso Rock to collapse, and of course, not only collapsing, it will move towards the direction of trying to seek a magical alliance with the entire eastern part of the country. And when I'm talking about the eastern region, I'm factoring the south and the southeast, into this because that is what it is. Forget the fragmentation they created, So from the calculation of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he feels that the likes of Ababio, Engineer Baribe, of course, who walked out. Seriki Dixon, of course, that one also worked out. We're talking about Odzo Carlo, who is going to look like if he's a serious politician. I'm telling you, Odzo Carlo is not a serious politician as far as it comes to the eastern part of the country. The real leader currently now in the entire eastern part of Nigeria is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And that is the person who will determine the structure of where Igbos are going to do, depending on how they're going to network between Tinubu and, of course, the structure that has to do with the Biafran recognition.
When you say Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of the Igbos, Nnamdi Kanu is not a politician, he's a freedom fighter. How did he become a leader? Who voted for him to be a leader of the Igbos?
What I'm saying is that currently now Mazi Kanu has become the symbol of 80 million Igbos around the world. That's what I mean. It has the political strength. He has the political symbol. He has the structure. His word is command and order. Anything Mazi Nnamdi Kanu says on any issue now becomes final. It might not be in any Nigerian dark way of playing politics. He might not get himself involved in some of these things, but morally and otherwise, Nnamdi Kanu is the symbol of anything that has to do with Igbo nation, anywhere, any day, politically and otherwise. That's how an average Igbo man sees Nnamdi Kanu currently now. And some of these people also see Nnamdi Kanu in that direction. He has not been able to, but at least he has been able to, do some certain things that has attracted millions of Igbos around the world to begin to give him that consciousness that he is the Igbo leader.
Now, as we close, El-Rufai sought permission from Buhari to leave the APC, and he said why gave him the permission. Are you not thinking that Buhari too may have finally left the APC?
Yeah, of course. The body language we are getting now, the CPC and ABGA and the Labour Party and the new PDP or whatever PDP is inside, whatever aggrieved APC members, we are going to see the kind of thing that's going to happen. But the main thing ahead of 2027, but any moment from now, talking about June, where we are going to see a major political coalition and pronouncement and directment and judgment of whatever that is hidden they are doing underground. We are going to see it in that direction. But I can tell you, in honest truth, what this man did to Igbos, Wike Tinubu did to Igbos, especially taking the Igbo mantle, is going to matter. I told you one day that anybody that is carrying justice will not have anything to give but injustice. He's carrying injustice. He will give injustice because that is what he's carrying. But let me tell you, in the absence of injustice, in a place where injustice is playing a major role, injustice is playing a major role, or is being seen as law, what follows is chaos. What follows is crisis. What follows is resistance.